feel like I need to testify tonight so that I can thank all of you for your prayers.
Yes.
You know that I'm living because of your prayers. The last couple, 3 years, it's been very trying with us, with Brother Hank and I. We're both getting older. But only God's mercy and His grace is why I'm standing here. Even if I can just stand for a little while and I can just walk a few steps. But it's His grace. It's His grace. Last week when I went into the hospital, I had been out all day that day. Jen Waltz and I kind of sneaked away and went and had our toes done. And she drove me down there so I could take my chair and go in there. And when she came back, I had a doctor's appointment, so I drove myself. And I walked in from the car instead of taking my chair. And I wasn't parked very far from the door, but I didn't think I was going to make it in there. But it was so hard on me to put the chair on and off because every couple of words I'd have to take a breath. And I didn't even realize how short a breath I was until she walked into the room where they put me, and she said, "Judy, you look really bad." I said, "Well, I feel worse." And she says, "What's the matter?" And I said, "Well, you know, same old, same old." And then I take a deep breath, and I didn't realize I was doing that. And she says, "Judy, you can't even breathe." I said, "Well, I'm breathing. I ain't breathing very good, but I'm breathing." And she says, "You're going to the emergency room." And I said, "No, I'm not going up there. You got to sit there forever, and blah, blah, blah." She said, "Judy, shut up. You're going to the emergency room." I said, "I can't. I got my car here. I got to take my car home." She says, "Your husband can come and get you." I said, "I don't even know where he is." Luckily, he was home, and John Henry came and brought him, and he drove us home, drove us up to the hospital. And of course, my blood was real low, my blood count. And I knew they were going to have to admit me, and I knew they were going to give me blood and all this stuff. And it was like, oh, Lord, I'm so tired of all this. So I sat there and had a pity party, you know how we do. I'm not the only one that has pity parties. We all do it from time to time. Until the Lord finally says, "Hey, look what I've done for you. Look what I'm still doing for you, and look what I will do for you." And you know, when you stop long enough to listen to what He's saying to you, it's amazing what He'll tell you. It is so amazing what He'll tell you. I used to think, Brother Miller would say, well, Sister Judy, find your place and then do it. You can tell, so having a hard time breathing.
Bless her. Lord, give Judy strength. Yes.
God bless her heart, yes.
And I used to say, "Lord, what is it you want me to do?"
Give her strength.
I've done about everything you've ever asked me to do. What can I do? I can't even breathe anymore. What can I do?
Give her strength.
And I don't know whether He's really told me, but I haven't heard it anyway. But I want to do what I used to do, and I know I can't. I used to feed a lot of you, didn't I?
Yes, you
I
did.
love to cook and feed people.
Yes, you
I don't
did.
know why.
Yep.
Yes.
But I love that. And I know one of the gifts that God gave me was the gift of hospitality. And it was a gift.
Yes.
And I loved feeding all of you that I fed. I remember I used to have Steve and Bonnie over, and we'd cook on the grill, or we really like to make a fire in the backyard and on the grill, and then put a coffee pot on there and make boiled coffee with that smoke getting in the boiled coffee. You know, that's really good. We used to do that a lot.
Yes, it is.
Sit outside in the cold like dumb people, with coats on. And because I used to love to be in the woods and camp and do all that stuff. And now I can't. So I sit over there on that patio and I look at that big oak tree and I pray for the church.
Good.
And sometimes
Praise
I can
God,
close
yes.
my eyes,
Yes.
and I go down each row, and I think, now who was here last night? Now who was here? Who wasn't here Sunday night? And I began to pray for those people first, and then I began to pray for the faithful few that's in the band sometimes, or the faithful few out here, or whatever. And you know, that's such a blessing to pray
That's
for
a
each
blessing.
other. It is such a blessing to pray for
That's
one
a
another.
blessing.
You know, I don't know how many of you pray for each other, but I know I pray for you and you pray for me.
Thank God you
And
do.
I know you pray for other people too. I don't mean that, I don't know. But it is such a feeling of, it increases your faith. The more you pray, the more your faith builds. The more you praise Him and thank Him for what He's doing in your life, the better you feel. And that's what I've been doing. I've been thanking Him for healing because I can feel a gradual getting better, you know. I know He heals people in an instant, just like that sometimes.
Praise
If
God.
that's what He wants, He can do that. But it seemed like over the years He has said to me, there's a day coming when you will be whole again.
All right, hold
And
on.
I'm standing on that. Literally, spiritually, naturally.
Hallelujah.
I'm standing on it.
God
On
is
His
man.
word that He spoke in my heart.
Amen.
And I believe Him. I believe Him. I believe it.
God is
I
not-
believe the truth. And the truth is, He wants me whole.
Amen.
And He wants you whole. And hold on, people. Hold on.
Oh, yes.
Hold on until that day.
Hold on.
Because that day will surely
That day
come.
will surely come.
It will surely come.
Amen.
Usually when we least expect it is when God does something for us. And then we think, huh, He really did that. And all along we've been praying for Him too. And then we say, well, He did that for me. And I'm thinking, none of us are worthy of what He does for us. None of us are. Because we're all nasty at times or in other times. But you know what? His grace and His mercy, that's what brings us through. That's what brings us through all the hard stuff, all the bad stuff, all the good stuff, all the stuff.
Yes, yes.
And Brother Jared was talking about all this stuff the other day that we need to get rid of, and I'm thinking, yeah, we need to get rid of a lot of stuff called unbelief, murmuring, complaining. That's a lot of stuff that we need to get rid of. You know, a lot, I mean, at first I thought he always talking about natural stuff, you know, physical stuff, cars and this and that and the other. And I thought, no, he wants us to get rid of the important stuff, like lying, like grumbling and mumbling and not forgiving one another. You know, that's the stuff that he wants us to let go of. I love you all, and I appreciate your prayers.
Bless you, Sister Judy.